Hey guys, welcome to a recap of Big Brother Season 25, Episode 4. And we're gonna name this one Heartbeats and Heartbreaks. Y'all, at the end, did you hear the heartbeat that Kirsten was beating? Like, we had heard it so clear. At first, I was like, who's making all that noise? What's that beating noise? And it is just Miss Kirsten's heart beating. I'm like, girl, everyone in this house is so fake. So, guys, as you know, Kirsten has been evicted from the Big Brother house, and it is so disappointing because it sucks to be the first one who has to leave. I hate that. I hate that for her because I felt like she had a couple of fashion looks that she wanted to give us. I thought she was a pretty girl, so I was like, oh no, I didn't want her to leave. But I understand the house, and the house is playing chicken, y'all. The house is playing chicken. No one wants to make the first moves. And they kind of, putting it on Kirsten, saying that she is doing too much. But I feel like the others are not doing enough. I feel like I'm a little bit bored, but slightly entertained because of Siri and Jared's situation. That twist is helping a lot. But guys, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? But we have learned a lot of new information about what's going on in the Big Brother house. So let's get into this whole situation. So, y'all, as we know, Kirsten was evicted from the Big Brother house, but let's get into that whole breakdown of that whole scenario and let's get into the highlights of this episode. So, Kirsten was on the chopping block with Miss Felicity. Her name, oh my God, why is the Felicity and not Felicia? I feel like I try so hard. I feel like I'm still saying it wrong because I want to say Felicia. I even took down notes and wrote a V as it's a velocity, but I may be saying it wrong. But guys, Velocity Felicia, she's also on the chopping block, and everyone is making her feel comfortable, saying, "Oh, she is just a pawn. Do not worry, you have nothing to worry about." But girl, the way this episode was moving, I was concerned for Miss Felicia. I was concerned for her because I felt like the votes were going to go the other way in favor of Kirsten because people are starting to put together the pieces. People are starting to understand the alliances at hand. But before I'm address that, we do have to address a little bit of an elephant in the room. So remember, guys, we had a whole situation with that thing, whoever, let's call his name is Luke. So Luke was removed from the house because he used foul language in the Big Brother house, and it was not just any foul language, it was derogatory language towards, not towards Jared, but in the house per se. So in this situation, how I would describe it, Jared, he felt like Luke didn't mean much harm or malice to what he said. I felt as though that, Jared is very cautious to how he expressed himself in that scenario because of perception. I felt like he was very aware that all eyes were focused on him to how he would react to the situation. And I was a little bit disappointed because even Hyson, he was there, but said that he didn't hear what Luke said. But we do have confirmation from Corey because Corey was gagged. Corey was looking at Luke like, "Are you seriously saying that right now?" And I thought I saw that same look with Hyson. So I don't know why Hyson is saying that he didn't hear that. So I didn't like that too much. I was not liking that. Maybe he didn't want to involve himself into that scenario. But clearly, you could tell that Jared was uncomfortable with the situation, and I felt like Big Brother made the right decision to evict Luke from the house because that energy, that kind of mindset is not what Big Brother, supports or want to portray on their platform. So, rightfully so, Luke was eliminated out from the situation. But Jared, I can tell, like, you could see, like, even though he tried to laugh it off, trying to move forward, I feel like it was just him processing that in that scenario. I do not think he excused Luke for what he said. He is not being harsh, but he's allowed to express how he wants to express. But at this time and space and where he's at in the Big Brother's house, he cannot openly express how he truly feels because this is also a game. So I'm taking notes of that. I really want to know how he really feels afterwards about this whole situation. But, you know, who wants to focus on hatred? I'm sure he wants to move on and move forward and win this game even more, you know? So I'm rooting for Jared, and it's unfortunate that, these have to be the situations that are pushed onto him because you hate to be that person to be in that situation. You just want to be happy yourself and comfortable around your house guests, not, feeling like, wow, you're an other, So I'm glad we were able to move on from the situation. We didn't even see Luke say goodbye to the house guest. We just saw him enter the room, and that's the last time we seen the man. He didn't even get to sit with Miss Julie Chan. He was just dismissed. Okay. So I like that and I appreciate that moment. Now, in this episode, I felt like Siri, she's pulling the strings, but not getting her hands dirty, which is phenomenal for her and great for her game because you see Hisam kind of take the charge, rallying the alliance together and calling out the moves and saying how we have to stay as a force, which is perfect for Siri because she doesn't want to make herself a visible target, even though she's a visible target. So she is playing the game right. And it's great that she has her son in this situation because she had benefited from a lot of information from Jared. So these two working together and having other people do the heavy lifting, the dirty work, is phenomenal for them and for their alliance. In this episode, our girl Riley, whoop, she is feeling overwhelmed with this new power in her hands that's gonna be over by the end of the day. And she is just going through it and she's reassuring her alliance, having the pep talk and everything. But I feel like she's doing what Kirsten was doing, which is a little bit too much. So I feel like, Riley, you better pump your brakes before they use you to eliminate and use the same excuse for Kirsten, okay? On you. So I thought it was hilarious that in this episode we had a whole moment where Izzy calls Riley out. They were having a whole talk, whole conversation. And Riley's trying to be like reassuring, saying that, oh, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. Very, base level conversation, base level strategy. Izzy is like, cut to the point, cut to the chase. I know that you not on my side. I know you don't see for me, and I know you have your people. Da, 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 da. We don't really talk. And Riley's trying to be reassuring and cover it up and make it up. But I love that Siri was able to pull Red into her side of the alliance. So we have the grown older people coming for the younger folks. So we have Red, and I told you Red is one to watch. I said that look back on my previous episodes, on my previous recaps. I'm telling you, Red is gonna be a star because Red is hilarious. How tell me why Red went up to Riley, little Miss Riley. And he's like, I don't know for sure, but I'm gonna name your whole alliance, but I'm not sure, I'm not confident. So, what are your thoughts? Riley, she was shaking in her little boots. She was shaking in her little mighty boots because, child, Red didn't have to do that. So, I'm sure Riley, after this, she's feeling some type of way, and it kind of makes her want to reevaluate what decision they should make tonight. And I'm like, wait a minute, this may backfire and turn against Felicity at this point, because now we have Riley going back to her alliance, the handfuls, scary hands, the handfuls, and she is trying to talk to them, even like Blue, America. They're getting to thinking and talking and wondering that if Kirsten is the right move to eliminate her, because there is the sense that it's the older versus the younger. So maybe they want to add to their numbers and keep Kirsten because they know if they save Kirsten and Kirsten is feeling like she's leaving, she's gonna feel like she owes a debt to their alliance, which is a good strategy in gameplay. But no one wants to make this call, and of course they didn't, because at the end of the day, they want it to be a unanimous vote to not really show the cards, not really to upset the house or go against the house, because there's already been an overwhelming consensus that Kirsten should be the one to go home, which I think is a fake reason to why to send the person home, because I felt like she wasn't doing that much. I mean, she was doing the most, but I feel like she was just doing that out loud. But I'm like, what about you guys? You guys are doing this out loud too. What about the handful group? I wonder who's gonna dissolve from the handful group, because we know that Riley, she says that her number one is Jack. These two already made a pinky promise, but I feel like Riley may not keep this promise. Riley, you're making too many deals and it may backfire on you. And we'll see how it goes for the next HOH event. But the show, they're playing it safe. I'm waiting for when things get a little bit more exciting. We did get some tea at the end when Kirsten went to talk to Miss Julie Chen. And Miss Julie Chen shares with Kristen that there was a secret alliance, a special situation that was going on in the house, but Kirsten couldn't even guess like what it was or with who it was. And so Julie Chen reveals that it has to do with Siri, and that still Kirsten was not putting the pieces together. And then Julie Chen admits to her that Siri is the mother of Jared. And she is sitting there like, but it makes sense to her because she reveals to us that an hour before she was evicted from the house, everyone was chilling and talking, and Jared says that they call me this nickname back at home. And some of the people recognize that nickname being Siri's son. So I wonder if now with this piece of information out there in the house, if chatter is gonna start and people are gonna start piecing things together. That is something to watch, because Jared, you may have spoiled the damn thing because your mother said you talk too much. Your mother warned you not to talk too much, not to be loose with your words, and look at you, loose with your words. So hopefully it's not exposed, but we'll see on the next episode. I feel like, if it's not exposed in the next episode, I wonder who is sitting on this secret. If Izzy is still able to keep this secret, and what's gonna go down with the alliances ahead. So guys, I want to know your thoughts. Who do you think gonna take this at the end? Because right now I thought Miss Riley was there for the end, but honey, she is getting messy. She's getting messy, and I feel like Izzy is getting a little bit too brave. I feel like Izzy did not have to go up to Riley like that and let her know to cut the crap. She didn't have to do her like that. And Red makes it clear that this country boy can see everything. So Red, I'm living for Red. So we'll see how it goes. I'm even calculating that Red and Cameron, they're good Judies. They're good buddies. They're besties, okay? I wonder if they're going to share information. Who else is going to share information, and where the breakdown is going to go down? Who do you think is going to strike first? Do you think it's going to be Riley's squad or Miss Siri's squad? Who knows? But we'll see. I will watch and, recap with you guys. So, guys, don't forget to let me know down in the comments below your thoughts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate every one of you for taking the time to watch my recaps, my reviews, my commentary from the bottom of my heart. So as always, share as much kindness as possible and have a safe weekend. Love you guys. Goodbye.